Hey, how you doing, YouTube? I just want to take a minute and try to explain a little bit about this BMW iDrive. When I got the when I got this car, I noticed some of the settings for the audio were not even being used, and I feel like I'm not alone on this. So I'd like to share what I found with you guys. Maybe you're having the same problems. So if you go into settings and you go to tone, standard fare, you got treble, bass, balance, fader. Then you notice this equalizer setting. So if you go in there, now you got all these different settings. I would say that's 7 bands. One, two, three. Yeah, 7 bands. So you can go in there and select, this would be um, 10 kilohertz, I believe is a high frequency, and 100 hertz being a low frequency. And then if you go down to Logic 7 Surround, when I got the car, it looked like that. No red check mark. I believe that is what they call a digital sound processor. So when I got this car, it was not the check mark was not there. And when we got the car and I was listening to the radio, I'm like, man, this is really flat. And for a Harman Kardon radio in a high-end 535i M Sport, I'm thinking, man, everybody says what a great radio this is, and when I got it, I'm like, this thing is really flat. So I started poking around after I got home with the car, and I found that all this stuff was unchecked. And as I checked these boxes like that, the sound was tremendous compared to the way it was at the dealership. And my wife has a 2014 Mercedes CLA, and her Logic 7 surround was not checked either. So I'm wondering if people are driving around, with their uh, available sound processing or whatever you want to call it, and it's not checked. They're not even using their radio to the fullest potential. So that's why I'm making this video. Um, I don't think I can play anything for you for like copyright stuff, but um, I guess I could play just something small. Oh God, not Metallica. Here, let's try this radio station. Well qualified to represent the LPC. I think that sounds really good. Like it has good bass, and um, the front range or whatever you want to call it, the mids and tweets, as I used to call it back in the 80s, sounds good and crisp. Um, I would definitely, it's right here under tone. That's like a little shortcut to it. I would definitely spend some time in here. Volume settings, that was another one too. The speed volume was way down here. So as you increase your speed on the freeway, it doesn't affect it. But I have mine up here now. And as you speed up, the volume increases so that, kind of, like road noise or tire noise or something like that kind of disappears a little bit. And of course, I got the gong turned down to 0. I'd shut it off if I could. Um, Microphone, speakers, that's probably with the cell phones. I don't touch any of that stuff. But anyways, thought I would share that with you guys. Maybe take a quick peek in your vehicle and see if it's being utilized. I mean, you pay all these money for these cars, and to not be able to use it, or to not use the car to its full potential. I mean, that's crazy. Um, Before, I had a 2014 328i, and I did not have navigation and all that stuff like I have now. And that radio was not a Harman Kardon, and that radio was still better than, say, a Honda Accord radio, but not to the caliber of this one, with the equalizer and the Logic 7 surround. And I'm sure this car has more speakers than that one did. But yeah, check it out. Get in your iDrive settings. Down here, settings, tone, and it brings that menu up. And spend some time in there and see if you can't figure it out. Maybe you can get a little bit better sound on radio like I did. Alright guys, have fun. See you in the next one.